Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, now I want to talk about the month of March and all of the change that's about to unfold because things have been very quiet up to this point. And this month, you're going to see major revelations and things coming to the surface that you never thought possible. Okay, so before I get into all the nitty-gritty for this month, I always want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter, because in that newsletter, you will have everything that I'm talking about in detail delivered to your email address. And also, when you do go to my website to sign up, don't forget to check out my beautiful jewelry line of malas, prayer malas, and spiritual jewelry that reminds us of who we are. So talking about March will be the unfolding of all the quiet, the secrets, the things that have been kind of hidden. There's an explosion of events because on March 26th, around that time, I'm seeing so many things happen astrologically. First of all, Mars will conjunct Rahu, which is monumental. It's in Taurus at 19 degrees. That degree mark is potent. Always when planets are making their reference point, and it's not just Mars. Mars will go through the zodiac every 2 years, but coming together with Rahu in this particular sign at 19 degrees is very, very eventful. And what we're going to find is something will happen around this time that is explosive. It's about transformational change that we've all been waiting for. What is going to happen? Well, I'm going to give you some clues that I think are going to definitely, I know will happen. Now, I often said that this year of 2021 will be very warlike. There has been so much war going on in cyberspace and even with the media. But there could even be the likes of something more physical, because this is the year that Mars triggers these sensitive degrees. So between 19 and 24 degrees of Taurus or 19 degrees to 24 of Scorpio are those degrees that create events. I have found this in many previous charts, and we're going to see what events are going to stir everything up and expose everything. So looking at this, the new moon, here's another biggie. The new moon is in Aquarius. It's exactly conjunct Neptune. And let me talk a little bit about the sign Aquarius, because we had this stellium of planets, so many planets in Capricorn last month. Now they're all moving to Aquarius. An Aquarius symbol is the water bearer. And what that actually means is Aquarius is an air sign, but he carries the water that's contained, meaning the emotions of the world, humanity, that he is able to carry them without becoming emotionally involved, because water is emotion. And that's what the water bearer is able to do. It is really the truth seeker. Aquarius is the sign of humanity. Now we have the new moon occurring in Aquarius with Neptune. Neptune is the illusion, deception, the lies that have been circulating, the conspiracies all over the world. And now the truth will come out. But not as much as what you will see come out between the months of May and July, when Jupiter goes into Aquarius and it stations. Well, actually, Jupiter is going to go into Aquarius April 5th, and you'll see a big shift. But when it stations, actually in the United States chart, it will be conjunct the moon in the third house of the media and communications. there is going to be a major split in the world of communications, because for so long, so very long, the elite, the wealthiest people in the world controlled everything, including the media. And the media is one of the most wealthiest of all platforms in the world. They control everything. They control how we think, what we believe, and they make the money from it. And they are in control, but not for much longer. There's going to be these amazing platforms and people that separate from that which has been controlling us. Because now we're starting to know the truth of how much control and how much money they have been really hoarding. But these are the people that are always in control. It's just now they're being exposed more so than ever, and there will be an underground split of people with a movement to expose all of the corruption and deceit and lies of the media and the world. This is not just in the United States. This is happening globally. Everyone is finally waking up. How refreshing is this, that the common man is getting powerful instead of all the elites that have been so powerful in controlling everything. They're coming back. Aquarius is all about humanity. It is all about these people taking back their power. I mean, I talked about the issue with Reddit and GameStop recently. And yes, people are taking back their control, proving the corruption that's been happening in the world. So I want to talk about why I think all of this is happening. Because everything happens for a divine reason. And what is that reason that I see coming up here that's so prevalent and valuable? And that is, there's always two sides to a coin. And when we look, for example, into the United States, the whole battle for the presidency and how this all looks to the world, it must look crazy. And it is, because there is so much we can learn from this. And I think everything happens for a divine reason, in the respect that the people that are in power right now had to come into power in order to change everything. Because now, and it's not what you think I mean. It's not at all what you think I mean. Because they had to come into power so that we can see the likes of what's really going on. So here's the situation. When you have political leaders, whether they're Democrat or Republican, one side comes into power, the pendulum shifts one way, and then the pendulum shifts the other way. But what we're going to find is, if what they think is the right thing to do is right or wrong, we're soon going to see. And what we can gather from that is take the best of both worlds. What worked from one side may not work from the other, and eventually we're going to come to a place of reconciliation and peace, believe it or not, but not this year. But this is the year where so much is going to be exposed, especially by some of the actions of some of the political leaders right now. We'll see if what they portray to work will work. And that's going to really give the true picture of what's to come. So don't get too persuaded by what you hear and what you don't hear. Because remember, the media is simply telling us what they want us to hear. We're going to find the truth. And we're going to see how certain things that certain sides say may work won't work. And here we have the proof. All of this is going to come into being. The proof is coming out very, very soon. So another thing I wanted to talk about is how you can manipulate your life during these crazy times, because you're going to hear so much propaganda. And this is the month I think we're going to really know a lot more about the coronavirus and what it's all about. But here's what I ask everyone to do. Listen with an open mind, without judgment. And then from that point, listen to what your gut feeling is telling you. Because deep within your gut, you know the truth. We are all connected to the divinity of all that is within our heart. And we feel that twinge of what is real, what is not. Even though it may look from the outside world different than what we know deep within our heart. And so I ask that everyone turns away from looking for leadership outside of themselves and look within themselves for their own guidance. This is your inner guidance. It knows all. And even through your dreams, listen to that. We all have this divine connection of knowingness. You will know by listening to what you feel in your heart. What's going on out there? It is not as you think. The astrology doesn't lie, and I can see that it's not as it appears. So there's going to be a threat to war, and there is a big underground movement that is approaching, if not this month. Because there are too many people that are disenfranchised and not happy. And you're going to see a big split, divide in the nation of the United States, as well as other countries. They will follow suit as their unhappiness with leadership occurs. Remember, your leadership should come from within. Don't look for other people to guide you. You're going to get the answers. And through this will bring us peace. This will change the world, the way that we are waking up and not allowing the governments to control us anymore. Don't listen. So get in touch with that knowingness. And always remember, though, don't completely go to believing one side of the situation. Look and balance, because this is the key that's going to bring healing and peace to our world. Yes. So, as I said, there is something very divine happening, and this is the year that the truth of our real truth will be revealed. So, looking at where the planets are going to be moving this month, remember that Mars being in Taurus. Taurus is the sign that deals with what? Banks and money, and also food and farming. And therefore, this is the year that all of this is going to be balanced. It has to be balanced. We are having some major issues here with our banking systems and how they're run. And this is all about the corruption that's been going on as well. And as much as some people don't like cryptocurrency, it is the ticket to escape from the controls of the banks. This is the main reason why people love cryptocurrency. Not because it's used on black markets, no, because it gives the power back to the people again. And that's my whole message here. The people are gaining their power back from the elites and those that control the world. So the stock market has been on an incredible rise, but it's going to become more volatile this month. And particularly, I do think there'll be a drop when Jupiter goes into Aquarius, which is April 5th. So reassess all of your valuables and things at this time. And as I said, I do see gasoline prices going way up, and that will escalate by summer. This could be a good investment, but at the same time, it causes all the other businesses that depend on fuel to drop. And that's where we're headed. And there's going to be some other means. One thing for sure is with Mars being in Taurus, this deals with land, farming, but also real estate. And real estate is becoming a much more valuable commodity. So I say invest in real estate, just like I have heard many of the elites are doing right now, because they know. So now I want to really talk about what will be happening this month. But before I go there, there is one thing I want to bring up, like it or not, and many people do not like when I talk about Donald Trump, but it is so uncanny how his astrological horoscope is triggered this month like never before. Something is going to happen, and it concerns him. Because this Mars Rahu in Taurus is going to be in his 10th house. The 10th house is your reputation, it's your view to the world, it's your career. So he's stepping up with some monumental event. Possibly it's his new media and how he is going to change the world of how we receive information. And looking at that, transiting Jupiter is going to be in a trine. Actually, it's going to form a grand trine in his chart, as it aspects his Sun in Rahu in the 10th house and trines his natal Jupiter in Virgo. And this just means that this month, he somehow will come into some kind of power. So watch that. This is remarkable what's about to come down this month based on looking at his chart. And I think, and I've always said this, I know that Donald Trump is very egotistical. So he's probably doing a lot of this for personal reasons. But I believe beyond that, the personal reasons, he is accidentally going to expose things for his own cause, but it's for the highest good of others. So the secrets, the truth that have been considered conspiracies, I think there's going to be some things that come out that may not be as they've been portrayed. And I think that Donald Trump is probably at the root and the cause of this. So we will see. Mark my words, watch how this unfolds. But there is a movement that he will be a part of. So now let me talk about the transits that are occurring this month. So looking at that, March 13th, this is where we have the new moon occur in Aquarius with Neptune. And this will be where so much of deception, now it might be at the time of this new moon because it is with Neptune, we're still in the dark, but it means that after it separates, something's exposed concerning this new moon. And because it's in Aquarius, it deals with communications. And on top of that, the airways will be full of these illusions and things that are about to come out. So March 16th is when Venus will enter Pisces, and Venus is exalted in this sign, and a lot will be occurring because the Sun is in Pisces as well part of this month, and Venus and the Sun will come together. But first, when it enters into into Pisces, this is going to be where Venus starts to really gain and pick up strength this month. So after the 16th, watch and see how events are evolving and changing, because here is the bottom line. Venus in Pisces is so strong. Now this will really accentuate anything dealing with the arts or even luxury items, but the arts become more powerful. And I think things about films, movies, songs, and music, they're going to portray a lot of what we're going through. And it's going to be a means that will really help bring out more of the truth through this type of media. So movies and songs, music. People always have to express themselves, and all these deep feelings that everything has been going on for the past year and a half needs to be expressed through the creative arts. Now, by the 27th, this is going to be, actually, no, the 22nd is going to be when Mars will be in a trine to Saturn. This is important because they're going to be in trine in the earth signs of Taurus and Capricorn. And this deals with money, finances. Again, this is going to deal with government and the changes that are necessary and need to happen to make this world a better place. So around this time, we're going to see where things start to work. And these earth signs are all about the financial worlds and how this is all going to change. So watch how the government will give more support. And this is around the world to companies, especially companies that deal with what? Food. Because Taurus deals with food and eating. Therefore, restaurants, farmers, all of that needs help, and that will be a focus, especially in this month. So by March 25th, this is going to be where we have Venus Cassimi the Sun. I know you've heard me talk about Cassimi lately. Cassimi is when a planet comes together exactly with the sun, except for, remember, the moon is not included. That will just represent a new moon. But when Venus comes together, Cassimi, everything to do with Venus will be out there, but only for a day or two. And that happens to be the 25th of March. It'd be a great day to make some kind of business transactions, but don't have it overflow in the next few days after, because that's when Venus is combust the sun. So it like comes into alignment exactly, they say, in the heart of the sun. That's Cassimi. And that day annihilates the combustion, and everything to do with Venus just pours out. But realize that Venus is the dispositing planet of Mars and Rahu. And as Venus explodes with this brightness, something will happen. Something big is about to happen around the 25th, 26th, around those days, give or take, within that week. Watch how things explode. Because this Venus and this Cassimi brings together just this amazing event. And I want to say that this has a lot to do with the financial markets and money. There's probably going to be a stock or something that explodes. I'll keep a watch on which one it could be, in a good way. Only for a few days, similar to the Cassimi that was happening with Jupiter during the time of GameStop. We can have another explosion like this. So by March 26, as I said over and over again, that is the Mars conjunct Rahu. And this is the event that will flavor this entire month with explosions and transformations, and most of all, revelations that expose the truth. By March 28th, I noticed that we will have the full moon in Virgo. And this full moon will actually be in the nakshatra Hasta, which is the hand, and it means to grasp and hold on to things. The moon actually does very, very well in that nakshatra because it's ruled by the moon. But what does this mean for us all? Virgo's all about health and healing. And remember, I've been talking about all the exposures and things that are surfacing this month. Well, this tells me we will know where and what this coronavirus is all about. It's coming up to the surface. Listen, pay attention. The news is out there. And more than anything, this promotes a major healing of this coronavirus as we become more aware in what is going on. So this full moon brings to fruition, brings to light that which the new moon initiated with that happened in Aquarius. The full moon brings to fruition, to light, everything that was represented in that beginning of this lunar cycle. So this is where I think we're going with understanding the disease potential and where our planet's headed with healing it, most of all. And so the very last aspect I want to talk about is when Mercury goes into Pisces. And one thing I wanted to mention, that around the time of Cassimi, when Venus is Cassimi, around the 25th, around that time, Mercury will also be at the midpoint of Rahu and Ketu while it's still in Aquarius. And that's also an uncovering the deep issues of the communications throughout the world and what's to come of it. But on the last day of the month, March 31st, Mercury will move into Pisces, which is its debilitation sign. So there's going to be more confusion. But this indicates that moving into the month of April, there'll be more confusion. But remember, and I'll give you the lowdown by next month, there's going to be severe weather as we get these planets, Venus and Mercury, all moving towards the last degrees of Pisces, which are Gandanta, indicating some severity in weather. But that really kind of starts up in April. But what I want to leave you with concerning this month, this is a huge month for change. And this is a month that I do see what we've been waiting for come to the forefront and surfaced. And I want to say that this month the world will change. It will change. And it will never be the same after the month of March of 2021. That's a lot to say. And that's a lot to predict. So with that, I'd like to close. Remember, if you would like more information on me, a consultation, you can go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Remember to sign up for my free newsletter and check out my beautiful spiritual jewelry. And if you would like to study Vedic astrology with me, join my community of astrologers. Go to my university website, which is University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.